guys, Kat here from highlevellistening.com. I'm here again this week with a new phrasal verb unit. So we're going to be talking about spending time with your friends. So I'm giving you about 20 phrasal verbs and lots of common expressions to use with your English-speaking friends that you can use to make plans, schedule a time to go out, and what to talk about whenever you do get there and hang out. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you again on highlevellistening.com. So today we're going to chat about 20 English phrasal verbs that you can use when you're spending time or planning on spending time with your English-speaking friends. I've also included a few common casual expressions that people use a lot when inviting or accepting invitations from other friends. For the most part, all of these phrasal verbs and expressions are best used with friends, and they're not considered slang or rude or impolite in any way. They're just casual and really common. So you'll hear them a lot, and you can start using them right away for lots of different situations. Now, I've already written a post about meeting people and making friends in English. Introductions are usually pretty casual, and to be honest, unless they have a specific reason to say their name right away, most people will just keep it easygoing and will just chat a little. So when you meet new people, especially Americans, keep it relaxed and use your small talk skills to keep a light conversation going. Another thing I want to mention is that Americans might seem like they're trying to make plans with you, but really we're just being polite and we aren't really committing to anything. This could sound a little crazy to people, from different cultures, but things like we should do lunch or we should meet up sometime, this sort of structure can be pretty non-committal. So if you actually do want to spend time with this person, you'll have to be the one to make the plans. Or if you don't want to hang out, just be polite back. Say, yeah, we definitely should, knowing that these plans probably aren't coming together anytime soon. So I'll start off with one that you probably already know. A lot of ESL books call hanging out slang, but I think it's become much more casual than that over the last few years, and it's probably the most well-known and the easiest to use. Hanging out simply means that you spent time with someone or you're spending time with someone, usually in an easygoing or social setting, and you're probably having fun doing it. If someone said, hey, we should get together and hang out sometime, I would think that they wanted to get together and do something fun. You could even say, oh, I'm just hanging out with my dad. I would assume that whatever you and your dad are up to, you're probably having fun. So you can use it in the present perfect as well. I don't know what he's been up to. We haven't really hung out in a long time. If you're going to meet up with someone, you're going to plan to come together or join someone or a group of people. Unlike meeting someone for the first time, you'll usually meet up with people you know or have at least met once before. I might text a friend something like, I told her we'd meet up around 4. Does that sound good to you? Or when's a good time to meet up? On the other hand, when do you want to meet, which would be the same as when's a good time to meet up, sounds a little less upbeat and a little less friendly, but the other person is definitely going to understand exactly what you mean. Other examples would be, we met up for drinks last night. Or if you're expressing regret, you could say something like, oh, I would have met up with you, but I wasn't feeling so great. In other words, I wanted to go, I just couldn't. I probably don't use this one as often as the other ones, but it is definitely a good one to know. Chilling out just means that you spent time relaxing or taking it easy with someone. Someone might say, I'm the kind of person who just likes to chill out on a Sunday afternoon with my friends. I'd probably use it mostly when I'm comparing a big night out to just relaxing at home. So I'd probably say, well, we can go out or we can just chill at home. Either one, I don't mind. There's also another meaning for chill out, and if you use it with a little bit of energy in your voice, you can tell someone to calm down or to settle down. Geez, chill out. There's nothing to worry about. I really try to keep myself calm when saying this because I don't want it to come off rude or I don't want someone to take it the wrong way. So it's like, all right, chill out. We've got it under control. I couldn't really find a direct synonym, but basically catching up with someone is when you talk to someone that you haven't seen or heard from in a while and you want to know what they've been up to. So if I see a friend at a party or a get-together and I want to make plans for us to hang out and talk, I would probably say, hey, we haven't seen each other in so long. Let me know when you're free so we can catch up. The other person will immediately know that I want to hear about their life and their plans and what they've been doing recently. So they should expect to talk about those kinds of things.
Something I might text to a friend, especially if I don't have a lot of time to talk at that moment and we have plans in the future. I'd probably say, oh, you'll have to catch me up on everything next week when we see each other. That just kind of tells them that, hey, I'm really busy right now and I know we made plans in the future, so let's use that time to talk. When you're asking your friends if they want to go out and do something, you might use the phrase check out to mean that you want to visit, go see, or experience something new. It gives people an idea of what you want to do more specifically. So you could say something like, did you want to check out that new movie sometime? Or something like, I've really been wanting to check out that new restaurant. It's got great reviews. Anyone want to go? And another example would be, have you been in the museum in town? Some friends checked it out last week and they said it was pretty cool. So do you want to go out or stay in? Basically, do you want to leave the house or stay at home? Adding a few words can make it a little bit more specific. You can go out for lunch, go out for dinner, go out for drinks. But by itself, if someone simply said that they wanted to go out, I would assume we'd make a night of it and we might be staying out late. So staying in is pretty straightforward. You could be staying at home, whether it's your house or a friend's. This is a very similar idea as go out, but when we use come, the other person is moving to you or your location. If I'm at a bar and my friend isn't there, I want them to come out to where I am. So I would say something like, hey, are you coming out tonight? We're at the bar now. Or you should come out. That's a really good way to encourage someone who might not want to come out, or if you'd simply like to invite them very casually. Hey, you should totally come out. You should totally come join us. You can use come over for your location, but for the most part, if you told me to come over and that's all you said and I didn't have any other information, I would assume you mean to your house. So if someone said, you can come over around 4, it's implied that I'm going over to that person's house. Similarly, in this example, hey, we were thinking about going out, but then I just had everyone come over for a few drinks instead. It's funny just how often we use the word head instead of go. I think the only difference is that heading somewhere makes me feel like you're making more of an effort than simply going somewhere. If you're heading out, I would assume you're leaving your current location and are actively moving towards the new location. Hey, we're just about to head out. We'll see you there. I'd assume that you're leaving soon. Another example would be, well, he said he headed out 10 minutes ago, so he should be here pretty soon. You could also say, well, he left his house 10 minutes ago. It would mean the same thing. Should we head straight to the restaurant or did you need a ride? Heading straight to a place would mean they aren't going to make any stops, unless I needed a ride, of course. Want to head over to the next place? Head on over seems a little strange, but it is yet another form of head to that means to go to a new location. Swinging by someplace means that you're visiting someone or someplace, usually pretty quickly, maybe on an errand or because you have to be somewhere else. I'll swing by your house around 6. I wouldn't expect that person to stay for very long. I just need to swing by to see my sister and drop something off, then I'll head that way. Depending on how long it takes to get to their sister's house, I would assume they'd quickly talk to their sister and leave soon after. Do you think you can swing by and pick me up? This is a pretty common combination, swing by and pick someone up. It's especially good when you're asking for a ride, since it implies that it wouldn't take that much time or effort for someone to come pick you up. Okay, so speaking of picking someone up, you can usually pick someone up by giving them a ride, usually in your car. A polite way to ask for a ride if you don't have a car might be, hey, would you mind picking me up? I'm on the way. In other words, you don't have to travel off your route to come get that person. It would be easy to pick them up. You could also use pick up for things, which usually means that you're buying, purchasing, or bringing them somewhere. I'm going to pick up a few snacks. Did you want anything? Pretty informally, both of these sentences start the same, but the definitions change with the addition of the phrase, a few drinks. Hey, could you pick me up? I would assume that person needs a ride. But if the same person said, could you pick me up a few drinks? I would assume they want me to bring some drinks. This one is used a lot at work, but I often use syncing up when I'm trying to make or schedule plans with someone. Let me know what your plans are and we can try to sync up next week. Did you guys want to try to sync up now or decide later? Usually people stick around a place almost reluctantly, usually when they don't really want to stay somewhere. Did you guys want to stick around till I get there or head to the next place? This is really polite because the person asking understands that maybe their friends don't really want to stay there and he's willing to meet them at the next place. I don't really want to stick around too long. Let's just swing by and say hi. Obviously, this person isn't too interested in spending a lot of time in this place because if you're going to swing by and say hi, it's going to be pretty quick. Maybe we should stick around. It could be fun. This is usually from the optimistic person in your group, and they'll probably say this to try to get you to stay, even if you don't really want to. Taking someone out, put simply, just means that you're going to pay for them. It doesn't have to be a romantic gesture. It can easily be friendly or even work-related. My boss took us all out to dinner last night to celebrate. I would assume that was a free dinner, which is pretty nice. Americans don't always like to be paid back in cash for favors or help. We don't expect it, and we usually find it a little impolite to talk about money like that out loud. So you can sort of imply that you're paying someone back by saying, please let us take you out for drinks. It's the least we could do. You can always offer to take someone out instead, and if they politely decline, at least you tried. If someone says, hey, I want to take you out shopping for your birthday. Now, the shopping trip itself might be the fun part, and that's what the person's paying for, but they might actually buy you something as well. Using it as a noun, it completely changes. Takeout is cheap food that you get in a to-go box or delivered to your house. I usually think of pizza, cheap Chinese. That's generally food I get for takeout. And you could ask somebody, hey, do you want to get takeout? And that would be just getting cheap food to go. Now, these would be used when you're already out somewhere with your friends. I would go up and say hi to my friends or go over to chat with someone. Guys and girls who are looking to talk to someone that they might be interested in might hear some of these phrases from their friends. Just go up to her and say something nice. Or you should go up to him and say hi. It can also be used when you see another group of friends somewhere, like across the room or at the bar. Oh, I'm going to go over there and say hi. If someone comes up to you, it's the same thing, only they approached you. She came up to me and introduced herself. Now, this can be similar to the word finish, but it has a little bit of a different meaning. If I end up somewhere, sometimes I didn't plan on being there or ending my time in that way. So if I said something like, well, we were supposed to meet everyone up at the bar, but we ended up just staying at the house all night. Staying in wasn't really planned, but it happened anyway. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. Sorry I had to leave early last night. What'd you end up doing? Most people ended up leaving around 2 a.m., I think, but we left about an hour after you. This one is often used sarcastically, probably because it's been overused by a lot of party people. Time to party it up, guys. Are you ready to party? Usually used jokingly. The only thing I wanted to mention was that this phrase has kind of morphed into other phrases, especially short two-syllable words like cafe it up. I've been wanting to cafe it up recently. In other words, I've been wanting to enjoy myself at a cafe or visit lots of cafes. Paris is a great place to cafe it up. Live it up is another one that might be a little overused, but it's good to know the meaning. Out of all of these three, I probably use cafe it up the most, and the others I avoid or I use sarcastically. Okay, so we've wrapped up most of the phrasal verbs, and I'd just like to get into some common expressions that you can use for inviting people out and for accepting, declining, and kind of saying maybe to the invitation. All right, so if you're inviting others out, you could say, hey, who's up for going out tonight? Who's up for drinks? Who's down to grab lunch? Who wants to meet up? So that's a pretty easy and very casual way to especially ask a group of people if they want to come out. Replying to them, simply enough, you can use a lot of these phrases and just simply say, yeah, that sounds good, or I'm in, I'm down, I'm game, I'd be up for that. Those would all be ways that you'd be interested in going. If you have to decline, sorry, I can't. If you're not feeling very good, you could say, I'm not really feeling up to it. You might be kind of feeling a little sick, hungover, just tired, and you just don't really want to go. And easy enough, I'm not really feeling up to it. If you're going to decline, it's usually best to say something positive right after. So, hey guys, I'm going to pass, but maybe next time. That's very non-committal. It's totally fine, and it's not really impolite or anything like that. Hey, I've already made plans, but thanks for the invite. If you were to say, I've already made plans without saying thank you, it would be kind of rude. So don't forget to use something positive. If it's a maybe and you're not sure, you could say, hey, I'll check in with you later, which just kind of means I'm not committing to anything right now, but I'll check in with you later just so that we can try to decide if I want to go or not. You could say, I'll try to make it by 5, like I'll try to make it by a certain time. Or simply, I'll let you know. Thanks, guys. That's all I have for you today. Don't forget to check out highlevellistening.com for tons more advanced English. We've got vocabulary, common expressions, lots of listening practice, all with American and British accents. So you have lots of naturally spoken English to get ready for the real world.